now presenting a very good entry opportunity. Apart from that, I think HCL Tech is the contrarian pick because I think its GPS already reached a level where it is very cheap, has a good 3% dividend yield. Praj Industries is my pick from the capital goods space. I think gets a lot of benefit from the sugar as well as the ethanol cycle. Ethanol is going to be a secular growth story going forward. So Praj can be an interesting stock to play. And the last pick can be
Absolutely.
Tata Motors, which has corrected significantly. And
Right.
I think both the volumes, domestic and national, should improve from.
Okay, so those were the top picks by our experts, and all throughout the week we tried getting it for you. But now it's time to tell you which are the top recommendations coming up for 2023 from Kunal as well as Vikas Sethi. So Kunal, firstly, let me come to you. Cheryl said that you have a surprise for all our viewers, so time to unveil that.
Well, absolutely. So instead of one recommendation, would recommend two stocks over here. Focus is more on the mid-cap names and two themes which actually I believe could play out very, very well for 2023. One, of course, is the PSU theme, and from that, I'm picking up REC Limited. I think both PFC and REC Limited have done exceptionally well. REC Limited particularly is heading towards a very big breakout. The volume shift, the price patterns have been extremely bullish for the stock in the recent past, and I'm not talking of the last couple of days, but the patterns over the last 3 to 4 months for REC Limited. So would be bullish on the stock, targets of 150. Stop loss at 100. And the second would be Aban. Anantraj Industries have been bullish on the stock. In fact, it was also one of the Diwali recommendations which I had given. The stock had moved up from 90 levels to now 110 plus. I think even at current levels, it looks extremely attractive from a longer-term play, given the kind of a breakout the stock has shown on the long-term chart. So 175 is the targets which I would maintain for Anantraj Industries. Stop loss at 85.
All right, so those are the top picks coming in for Kunal, from Kunal for all of our viewers, and not one but two for the year 2023, and that's Anantraj as well as REC, and that takes the total picks coming in from Kunal, at least for all of y'all, is at least 6, isn't it, Kunal? 6 picks is what you've given for the year 2023. But Vikas, over to you. A very good morning to you, and also, what are your picks for our viewers for the year 2023? And firstly, if you could recap, how has 2022 been for all of our for the viewers, and in this year, what should they look out for?
Yeah, good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Srishti. At the outset, and good morning, Kunal. I would like to wish you all and the viewers of ET Now a very happy and prosperous 2023. If we talk about the last year, comparatively, we have done much better. If we look around, we've had Ukraine-Russia war, we've had Fed hiking interest rates over the year, but although we've seen a huge cut in developed markets like the US and the UK, China, and Japan, Indian markets have done reasonably well. We are down year-on-year basis, but still we've managed to do pretty well. But I think 2023 would be a great year. I'm expecting the markets to go up. We should be overcoming problems like COVID-related issues. Then Russia, Ukraine hopefully also should get settled, and we should see a good bull market in FY 2024 or the calendar year 2023. And I see Nifty to be going to levels of 19,500, if not more. I'm actually, in fact, even more bullish than that, and we could see levels of 20,000 also on the Nifty in the new calendar year. As far as my top bets are concerned, I have picked 4 stocks, and all of them are from the mid-cap segment. I'll name them, I'll give my targets, and I'll speak briefly about why I like them. The first pick would be Lemon Tree Hotels. I've been bullish on this sector. The last year has done well. But I think with the kind of opening up which is going on and the kind of revenge tourism and the performance which is being witnessed from the hotel sector, the occupancy levels, the tariff rates which they're getting, and the holiday season and the wedding season in India, I think we could see this sector continue to do well. And Lemon Tree is one of the best bets out there. It's India's 3rd largest hotel chain. And if you look at the mid-sized segment, mid-priced segment, this is the largest hotel chain, and they're aggressively expanding. They would add another 20 hotels in 2023, which would be somewhere close to around 2,000 rooms. So I remain bullish on this, and I think we could easily see levels of 125 on this stock. So I would recommend investors to be buying into Lemon Tree Hotels at the current levels of close to around 85 rupees. The second stock which I like is a specialty chemical stock. The name of the stock is MA Organics, a great company. Fundamentals look pretty good. The stock has done well, and I think at the current levels, the valuations look attractive. Plus, this company is also getting into the segment of electrolytes, which is used in EV batteries, and that is a very big opportunity for this company. So I remain bullish on this, and I think one should be buying into this at the current levels of around 970 odd, and my targets are 1300 rupees on this stock. The third stock which I like is Techno Electric, which is a company which is into power infra. The company is also into smart metering solutions, a very strong order book of close to around 5,000 crores. And they've recently also bagged, or they've been L1 in tender from the Jammu and Kashmir government for smart meters. So that's a big opportunity going ahead. And plus, why I like this stock is they've also forayed into the high growth data center segment. And where I see tremendous opportunities, and the company itself has 130 megawatts of wind power. So their data centers would be ESG compliant because they have renewable energy to cater to the data center which is there. And so they'll be able to tie up with companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon for their data center. So I remain bullish on this. The valuations look attractive at the current levels, and my targets for this year would be 450 rupees. The stock currently trades at around 325 odd levels. And finally, I would like to recommend to investors stock from the defense space. The name of the company is Zen Technologies, which currently trades at close to around 185, 190 rupees. This is a leading company which is into manufacturing of drones and simulators. So with the kind of focus which the government has on Make in India, defense and Atmanirbhar Bharat, I think this company is also going to go places. They have a strong order book. They recently bagged order from the Indian Air Force also. And these days, drones are being used by the agriculture sector, by the food delivery apps also. And fundamentals look attractive. Their September quarter performance also was very good. And I think with the budget not too long away, we could see smart pickup in these kind of stocks in the very short term also in the run up to the budget. So I remain bullish on Zen Technologies, and my target for 2023 in Zen Technologies would be 250 rupees. The stock currently trades at around 185, 190 odd.
So that's the year-end bonanza for all our viewers, because we have got 2 picks from Kunal as well as 4 picks from Vikas Sethi. But with this, it's time to slip into a short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and taking up your stock queries. So stay tuned.
That this market is becoming better, and with each passing day this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market.
Welcome back, and you're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now. And the year 2022, if you look at the way how the markets have performed, it's been marred by quite a lot of volatility through the course of the year, Vikas. And during this period, you had the retail investors also get pretty jittery with the wealth that they've been creating or trying to create. So for the year 2023, what's your advice to all of our viewers, retail investors, on how they should protect their wealth, Vikas?
Yes, as I was telling you earlier also, I remain bullish on this market, and I think things should turn out for the better in the new year, with problems related to COVID and also towards the war between Russia and Ukraine getting resolved. I think we could be headed for better times, and with the kind of progress which India is making and the kind of fundamentals which we have, both macroeconomic fundamentals and even micro, if you look at corporate earnings, they've also gone well. So I think we should remain bullish on this market, and I would advise investors to look at good quality stocks, and particularly the ones which are only dependent on the domestic consumption or the domestic markets. I think those kind of sectors would continue to do well. So my advice to investors would be to keep holding on to their good quality stocks portfolio, and also add on to stocks as and when they see any correction in the market.
Volatility is the name of the game, but going forward, Vikas remains with his bullish stance on Nifty as well. But let's move on and kickstart your queries section. And starting with the queries, Kunal, we have the first query from Satya Veni. He has bought IRCTC shares at a price of 830, currently at quite some of a loss. But he wants to know that is this a good time to average out this counter?
Well, I'm not sure. I think the stock is still going through a round of volatility. The last 1 month, the stock has corrected from 750 to almost 600, which is a sharp 20% approximately correction for IRCTC. And in this phase of a bounce where many of the stocks have recovered and recuperated more than 50% of the losses, the stock has bounced up from 600 to 638. So the bounce is very, very shallow for IRCTC. I would suggest that you need to wait for some more time. I'm still not confident that whether the stock is forming an immediate bottom or not. At least on the charts, there are no signals as such.
All right. Before I start taking the queries from the YouTube, want to wish all of our viewers who have tuned in, all of them who are actually wishing us as well on YouTube and WhatsApp, a very, very happy New Year in advance. Yes, but we will be meeting in New Year as well, so I'll give you the proper New Year greeting then. But thank you so much for all the support and also a lot of wishes that you all bestow on us day in and day out. So yes, the viewers have wished you also, and Kunal and Vikas as well. They wished you all a very happy New Year as well. So let me now get going with the query then. This one is coming from Santi, and this one is for you, Vikas. This is with regards to Sheela Foam. Wants to know about how are the prospects looking like for Sheela Foam, especially after this the talks about them going ahead or in talks with to acquire Kurlon. Wants to know, does it make sense to buy a fresh Sheela Foam at this point in time?
Yes, sir. It's a good quality company, and with the recent acquisition, the prospects look better, but valuations look expensive even at the current levels, although the stock has corrected from its highs of close to 2,000 odd levels. But I think one should wait for this stock to correct at least 10 to 15% to be able to accumulate and have a good risk reward in his or her favor. So I would maintain that one should wait for correction to be buying into this stock.
Okay, we're moving on to the next query. Kunal, this one is for you, coming from Shubhankar, and he entered into two counters. Firstly is ICICI Prudential at a price of 560, currently at a loss, and the other one is Tata Motors. He bought it somewhere around 400 odd rupees. So what is your view on both of these counters? Is this a good time to average out ICICI Prudential, he wants to know?
So I believe you can just hold on to ICICI Pru. Now ideally I would have said to switch to SBI Life because that's a more stronger and performing name. But the only, I would say, sort of a good part for ICICI Pru is that the stock is now significantly below its long-term average. I think the 200-day moving average is around 515 for ICICI Pru. The stock is at 450, which means a divergence of almost 15 to 17% for ICICI Pru from the long-term average. And that could probably mean that the stock may get into some phase of a rally or a recovery over the next 1 to 3 months to try and cover up this divergence. So there could be a better exit point for ICICI Pru, I think, if I can put it that way. And then once you look to exit the stock, maybe at levels of 500-ish approximately in the next 1 to 3 months, you can shift to some other name from the insurance pack. Maybe an SBI Life could be a preferred stock. Tata Motors, I would still recommend a hold. Even though you've bought at 400 levels, the stock is marginally down to 385. It's tapping back into a major support on the long-term chart. So after a 10x kind of a rally in the last 2 years from 2020 lows, it's bound to be that the stock consolidates for possibly another few quarters before it starts to march up on the upside back again.
All right, this one is coming from Arvind. Kunal, this one is for you. KNR Construction for the short term. He wants to know, should he go ahead and buy right now? And what sort of a target are you envisaging for this one?
So you can look to buy, and I think from a short-term play, I would look out for maybe 275 to 77-ish as a target range for KNR Construction. The only reason why I would not be extremely bullish is because the stock is still finding a cluster of resistance at this 275 short mark for itself. Last time around, last week or so, when the stock made a top, it tried to breach this level of 275 3-4 times, but it failed to do that, except for those intraday breaks for KNR Construction. So that's why I would believe that it's better that you keep a very moderate kind of a target, just around the 275 odd mark.
Okay, moving on. The next question is from Subrata Ghosh, and Vikas, he follows you a lot is what he's saying, and he wants to know from you what he should do from with a stock called Carousel. He has bought 2,500 shares at a price of 600, currently at a loss. So what will be your advice going ahead on this one? Do you track this one?
Yeah, first I would like to thank the viewer to have been following me. As far as Carousel is concerned, it's a great company. Fundamentals are good. Although the stock has corrected recently or over the last 6 months, it's not performed. But I think it's a great company to own and to keep it in your portfolio from a medium to long-term perspective. It's one of the leading manufacturers of quad kitchen sinks. And I think there are several marquee investors also invested into this, and fundamentals look good. So I would advise him to continue to hold on to it.
The next one that I have is coming in from Vishal, and he's writing to us from Dubai. He wants to know whether it's right time to add some more stocks for Infosys and HCL Tech with a long-term view. He wanted to average these counters to actually go ahead and benefit him. So what's your take, Kunal? He's not told me what the buy price is for Infosys and HCL Tech, but do you think it makes sense to average out right now?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to average out at current levels because what happens is good prices, good news, they don't come together, and we've seen that happening so many times. For large cap names. So the fact that Infosys, HCL Tech, they're trading significantly below their long-term highs. They are trading at a point where there is extremely negative amount of news flow. Yes, there are bound to be phases where these stocks can correct as well. But then if you are in from a medium to long-term play, and if you have a time horizon which can extend the very short-term niggles these stocks as well as the sectors are facing, then I think it makes a lot of sense for buying as well as averaging these stocks.
Okay, moving on to the next query. This one is once again for you, Kunal. Shekhar has bought Berger Paints at a price of 657. The quantity is 150. Currently at a loss. He wants to know whether he should average this out, hold on to discounters, or sell it at a loss.
I think you should look to exit the stock, frankly, because on the monthly charts, there are few indicators which have actually started to enter into a negative territory for Berger Paints. Till the last month or so, those indicators were into a neutral territory. So that could probably be an indication that the stock may consolidate. But right now in this month, for example, the stock is down some 5-6% and the indicators are coming into a negative territory. The stock is on the verge of breaking a major support as well. So that could not bode well for a stock like Berger Paints. I would suggest an exit.
Okay, Abhishek wants to know about Grindwell Norton. Vikas, he wants to know whether it's right time to buy into this counter with a long-term view. Do you think that this one makes the cut to be a part of a portfolio?
Yeah, sure. I like the stock. Fundamentals are good, and it could certainly be it should be a part of your portfolio. The stock is also corrected from its highs of close to 2,300 odd levels, and trades at reasonable valuations because companies like this. They certainly trade at expensive multiples, but then that is the norm. So I would advise the investor to look for opportunities to buy, use a staggered approach to be acquiring this stock.
Okay, so that's the advice coming in for you. But with this, it's time to slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and we'll be taking more of your stock queries.
Predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now. As we speak, markets are seen to be drifting near today's low point. Nifty trading with around 25 points in the green, but Bank Nifty is now down about 130 points as of now. But let's move on and once again go back to your queries. And Kunal, this one is for you because Venu Gopal really wants to know on two counters. Firstly, it's Tata Power and the other one is Tata Motors. We have already talked about Tata Motors. So he wants to know Tata Power, price to acquire and the expected target on this one.
So Tata Power also I'm bullish on from a long-term play. Now, again, I reiterate the fact for so many of the stocks that when stocks move up 8x, 10x in a span of 1 to 2 years, they are bound to go into a time-wise correction. We have just completed 1 year of time-wise correction for a stock like Tata Power. So, in 2020, at the peak of the COVID sell-off, the stock was almost at 25, 27 rupees and had jumped up to almost 265 to 70. So a 10x return over a span of 1.5 odd years. So it's bound to be that these stocks consolidate. So it's always better to have two important criteria. One, buying the stocks at the lower end of the price curve and then waiting for a substantial amount of time to get similar kind of returns over a long-term period. So if both of those criteria get fulfilled, then only I believe you should look to buy such kind of names. Tata Power below the 200 mark, I believe looks very attractive from long-term holding.
All right, I have a couple of short-term queries. So let me take this one to you, Vikas. Akash wants to know about AB Capital, IDFC First Bank or RBL Bank, whether it's right time to enter these counters with a long-term perspective. He already has ICICI Bank in his portfolio.
Yes, Shakil, as far as these three stocks are concerned, AB Capital, I like the stock. From here on also, I think we could see much upside, although the stock has gone up by close to 50% over the last 2 months. But I think at levels of around 150 odd, I think this stock is headed higher. So I would maintain a buy on AB Capital even at the current levels. IDFC First Bank is again one stock which I like. The bank has been doing well and most of the banking stocks are doing well. And I think 2023 also most of the banks would continue to do well. So IDFC First Bank is again a buy at the current levels. And as far as RBL Bank is concerned, the stock has gone up recently. So I would advise the investor to look for some correction into the stock to be able to buy into the stock. But since he already has an ICICI Bank and I've also recommended IDFC First Bank, then I think it would be better if he goes to some other sector and buys some stock from there.
And Kunal, Padmasivy Rao has already bought Vatek Wabag at a price of 270, currently sitting at a profit. What's the advice? Is this a good time to add more? What will be your take on this?
You can just hold on to the existing quantity. I don't believe that it's a good time to average more because the stock is at a midpoint of a range. So I think the range is 300, 360 approximately for Vatek Wabag. It's currently at 330 levels, which means almost exactly at the midpoint level. Either if it comes closer to 300 mark, you can look to average, or in case if the stock comes back towards the 360 mark approximately, you can look to book minor profits over there and then look to rebuy on correction. So you can hold on to existing quantity as of now.
Okay, Kunal, this one is coming from Satya, and Satya wants to know about whether he should shift from Piramal Enterprises, which is purchased at 888 rupees per share, to your top picks, that is MCX or Bank of Baroda. Do you think it's advisable to book out of Piramal Enterprises and buy these two counters, or he should keep Piramal and also buy them?
Yeah, I would prefer the latter, Cheryl, because it always makes a lot of sense. New Year's, New Year brings new sort of sectors, stocks which can do exceptionally well. So last year, for example, 2020, in fact, this year, we had so many surprises which come back, which came by in the markets. The likes of ITC, NTPC, ONGC, etc. So many large cap names, mid cap, PSU banking stocks made a very strong comeback. So it's always going to be a point where these underperforming prominent large cap names like Piramal Enterprise, they can also make a very strong comeback sooner than later. And it's not as if that the chart patterns have been very bleak for these stocks. So I would suggest the latter. You can hold on to Piramal Enterprise and look to add on to the list of recommendations which I have given this week.
Okay, moving on to the next one, and Vikas, Mohit has bought 2,000 shares of Trident at ₹3.90. Quite a good entry price, I must say, but his time horizon is for the next 3 years. So what will be your advice?
First, I would like to thank the investor for having bought this stock and holding on to it, and it's already been a 10-bagger for him. I think at the current levels, the stock can be held on to. It's into paper and textiles, and both the sectors are doing well. So I think he can certainly hold on to it.
Right, so this is a query that's coming from Sagar. He wants a dual or a combo view, that is from you also as well, Kunal, and from Vikas. And the query is on Kotak Mahindra Bank. What he's saying, Kunal, is the fact that the stock has given absolutely no returns. He's saying zero returns is what he's saying, and he's written zero in many different languages also to basically emphasize on his point. He's saying that he's been deploying short triangle straddle for the last 1 year, and he's earned pretty hefty returns from it. Now he wants to know, will Kotak Mahindra Bank continue with the policy of not giving any returns going ahead, or do you see scope of some returns coming in the near future? And because from you, he wants to know, does it make sense to continue holding Kotak Mahindra Bank given the fact that you know that it's not giving returns and also you've not seen stellar earnings? So who wants to go first? Kunal?
Yeah, so I'll go first. Look at Kotak Bank in the last 10 years. You can't look at just the last 1 year of price performance and then probably categorize that this could be a point where Kotak Mahindra Bank is looking absolutely sideways. Look at the last 10 years. The stock was 200 rupees, I think, in 2011-12 and moved up to almost 2,200. So almost 9 or 10 consecutive years of strong price uptrend for Kotak Mahindra Bank, and post that is this the second year of consolidation for the stock. So I would believe that sooner than later the consolidation should end and the stock should get back into a breakout mode pretty soon. So I believe that the strategy which you've been adopting for the last many months for Kotak Mahindra Bank, I think it should now turn into the favor of possibly a breakout in 2023.
Vikas, what's your take then on Kotak Mahindra Bank? Do you also believe that there is scope for upside in this one? There will be better earnings growth and it makes sense, is advisable to keep it in your portfolio?
Yes, I concur with the views of Kunal. I think it's headed for good times ahead. Private sector banking space is looking good. And from within the space, apart from, say, ICICI Bank and Axis Bank, I think Kotak Bank would be the preferred bet, and one should buy into the stock or look for opportunities during any declines to be buying into this stock from a medium to long-term perspective. I think 2023 again would be a good year for banking stocks, and Kotak Bank would perform. So my targets for the new financial year in Kotak Bank would be at least 2,100 to 2,200, please.
On to the next one, Vikas. D'Souza has bought 1,000 shares of JMC Projects at a price of 110. The stock has already seen stellar gains in the past 6 months. What's the advice going ahead in 2023? Continue to hold on because already sitting at a good profits in this one.
No, again, I remain bullish on the infrastructure sector, particularly in the run-up to the budget. The sector does well. This stock has done well. It's sitting on profits, but my preferred bets would be some different stocks. I like stocks like an ITD Cementation, an NCC, or a J. Kumar Infra from the space. So I think he can continue to hold on to them, or he could book profits here and switch to better quality stocks like the names which I've just given.
This one is coming from Dikshita, and yes, Dikshita, very happy new year to you as well from the entire team of ET Now and Buy Now Sell Now in particular. Also, Dikshita wants to know, Kunal, can Sun TV be average at these levels?
Well, I would be a bit skeptical over here because Sun TV has been a huge underperformer. I'd emphasize on the word huge over here for Sun TV because even in the last 2 years of this fantastic rally from the 2020s, the stock has not done much as compared to most of the other peers, mid-cap peers. In fact, even Zee Entertainment had a flash of a rally in between where the stock moved up significantly higher from I think 115-20 levels to at one point touching the 300-330 plus mark itself for that. But then Sun TV has not managed to recover from those 300 lows. The best the stock had rallied up to was almost 600. So I'm not sure, what's the rationale of buying the stock because when a stock tends to be an underperformer for the good parts and the tough parts of the market scenario, then it tends to be an underperformer for some more time extended as well. So I would be a bit skeptical into this kind of a query for Sun TV.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Vikas, Shranu has bought 67 shares of Nazara Technologies at a price of 772. He wants to know the long-term target on this one.
Again, the SA is sitting on huge losses. The stock has corrected by or is down by close to 35-40% from her bought levels. But I think at the current levels, one can hold on to the stock. And I think in the next year, we could see 20-25% upside from current levels.
Is coming from Ms. Padma Balan and mentioning that she's a senior citizen, wants to know whether it makes sense, Kunal, to buy rights, RVNL, NBCC, HCC for the short to medium term. Either of these counters that you want to share your views on, given the fact that we've seen massive rally in these rail counters already.
Yeah, I think rights, RVNL, if I can probably put it, maybe stocks like IRCON, IRFC, these stocks have run up exceedingly high. And, these are, I've been emphasizing time and again, that these are thematic stocks. You don't convert these thematic stocks into portfolio buys and specifically with the kind of risk appetite, with respect to your age. So I would believe that it always makes sense to go back towards the large cap names, the more solid stocks and the ones which have been underperforming where there could be a strong catch up of outperformance. So I would probably not pick out any of the three stocks given your profile. I would probably ask you to shift towards some solid large cap names and especially many of these large cap stocks like HDFC Bank, Reliance, ICICI Bank, etc. They've corrected also from their previous major highs of 10% plus.
Okay, Kunal, Sandeep Kumar entered into Hindalco for an intraday trade. His entry price is 481. So what will be your advice coming in?
Well, I think you should look to exit the stock. I'm not sure of any major intraday recovery because even the Bank Nifty is showing a bit of sluggishness today. So possibly the markets could be into a bit of a profit booking mode. So I think purely as an intraday trade, I'm not sure whether the stock will scale past about the 485, 490 mark significantly.
All right, on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. We will continue taking your queries after the break, so don't go anywhere.
Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, Well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET. Now, only few minutes left, experts. So I would request you to keep your answer a little tad bit brief when you are answering. Let me take club two queries together, Kunal. This one is for you. One is from Jay Krishnan, who's asking about Jubilant FoodWorks. The buy price is 586 rupees per share. What should he do for medium term? And whereas Mr. Balan also has bought Jubilant Food at a price of around 580 rupees per share. Both of them are asking what should they do with the counter.
So as of now, you can just about hold, but don't add. I am a bit skeptical on the near-term prospects for Jubilant Food because of the weakness the stock has been exhibiting of late. So would suggest just a hold.
Okay, because Arvind Reddy has bought Renuka Sugars at a price of 53. In 2022, we have seen the stock moving around 92% on the upside. But what's the outlook for the next year?
I think one should continue to hold on to Renuka Sugar. I'm bullish on the sugar sector as a whole, and this being one of the leading manufacturers of ethanol, and the ethanol story is also playing out well. So maintain a hold in Renuka, even though he's in profits.
All right. This next one that I have is coming in from this one is coming from Swayam, and Swayam wants to know about L&T Fin. The long-term view is already holding 4,400 shares at 78 rupees per share. What should he do? Should he wait for it to break out, as in reach the levels of 96, Kunal, or do you think it was just a pullback?
I think you should look to maybe book profits closer to 94, 95 mark the next time when the stock is coming closer to that resistance point, and then look to trade back again when it comes back to the sub 80 mark. So I think that's a range, a broader range for L&T Finance, which has been established over the last many months.
Okay, because Raj has bought Garware High-Tech at a price of 700, currently at a loss. What will be the long-term advice for this one?
Sorry, Sriti, I don't follow the stock, so would not be able to offer.
Okay, okay. Kunal, would you like to take this up?
Even I don't track the stocks, won't be able to offer any comment.
Okay, Dhananjay wants to know about Laurus Labs, 5,500 shares that he has of this counter. His buy price is 367. Because he is saying all the profits have been evaporated, he wants to know whether he should hold or sell. He wants a fundamental view on this one.
Now, again, stock has been an underperformer, and my advice would be to look for opportunities to get out of the stock and invest elsewhere.
Okay, Vikas, RK has bought Thomas Cook at a price of 82, and he's saying that in the past 1 month he is at a loss of 20%. What's the view? Is that a hold or sell?
Clearly a sell. Maintain a sell.
All right, this one is for you, Kunal. Richa is asking about Chola Finance, 21 shares at around 729 rupees per share. Wants to know whether she can add some more for the longer term?
Yeah, you can look to add at current levels. It's holding up to its 200-day moving average. It's a good sign.
Okay, but for this, it's time to kickstart the rapid fire session, and moving on with the first query, Vikas. Vivek wants to know, is this a good time to enter Aegis Logistics with a 6 to 12 months time horizon?
I think one can find stock. Looks good.
Kunal, Jignesh has bought Biocon at the levels of around 400 rupees per share. He wants to know what should he do with this one right now?
Exit the stock on any kind of a rally.
Okay, Kunal, Prateek has bought Deepak Nitrite at a price of close to 2,400. What will be the advice on this one?
I would recommend a hold. I've been very bullish on Deepak Nitrite from a long-term play, and I think it's a good stock to have in your mid-cap portfolio.
Manish Raju wants to know about Patanjali and Pony Sugar Erode, if it's worth buying at current market price for the next 6 months, Kunal.
Pony Sugar, yes. Patanjali, I'm not too much convinced because of the way the stock has been a bit volatile. I would suggest an avoid on Patanjali.
Okay, Vikas Tapas Chandra has bought Welspun Corporation at a price of 250. What will be your advice?
Hold at the current.
Okay, Ajay Kumar from Trivandrum wants to know whether it makes sense to buy FACT at this point in time. Fundamentally, what's your take, Vikas?
The stock has run up since tremendous returns of it, but I think there's some more steam left. What to the stock?
Okay, Kunal, D. Mazumdar is at a heavy loss. She entered into Dixon Technologies at a price of 5,241 rupees. What will be your advice?
You can continue to hold on.
Okay, Vishal wants to know about Coromandel International. Makes sense to buy with a short-term view, Kunal?
Well, I would prefer possibly the likes of RCF or at dips closer to 110, or maybe something like Chambal Fertilizer.
Okay, Vikas Mandikandan has bought BEL 100 shares at a price of 100 rupees. What will be the one-year view on this one?
Certainly a very good stock, and I remain bullish on this. I think in a year's time we could see levels of 130, 140 rupees on the stock.
Okay, Chandan has bought Bikaji Foods at the levels of 300 rupees per share. Vikas, he wants to know whether he should book out of it right now.
No, continue to hold stock. A good company.
All right, then with that we come to the end of the queries as well as the rapid fire. Thank you so much, Kunal and Vikas, for joining us on the show, and thank you for being a part of Buy Now, Sell Now through the course of the year. And look forward to both of you all in the new year as well. But with that, let's bring on board the management of Elin Electronics. That's the new listing that we had on the bourses today. We are joined by Mr. Sanjeev Sethia as well as Akash Sethia of Elin Electronics. A very good morning to both of you all. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. Firstly, I wanted to know about the objectives of your IPO. One was to fund capital expenditure for upgrading and expanding existing facilities. Could you tell us about this capital allocation and take us through your expansion plans as well for the near term?
Right. So just in terms of what we have on the anvil as of today is expanding, our existing product categories. So the major expansion that, you will probably see over the course of the next 2 years will be in the fan segment, in the appliances segment, and in the motor segment. Within each of these segments, we are looking at aggressively adding newer products and newer subcategories of products. Just in terms of some numbers, we have been fairly aggressive over the past 3 years, where we've invested almost 125 crore rupees in capex. And over the course of the next 2 years, we expect another 60 to 70 crores of investment in capex. As regards your question on whether we will expand into newer product categories, we will probably be in a wait and watch mode for that. If the opportunity is right, we will most definitely look at that.
Okay, but Akash, talk to us about the growth momentum we have been seeing, because in FY22 we have already seen a revenue growth of around 27%. Whether 20 to 30% growth is likely to continue, given that the PLI schemes have a lot of momentum considering manufacturing. So what will be your take on this?
Sure. Our strong belief is that, the foundation that we have laid for our company today should hold us in good stead for anywhere between 20 to 30% kind of growth in revenue over the course of the next 2 to 3 years. While this is aided by a variety of factors, but to specifically your point on the PLI, we have qualified for PLI in the lighting segment. And obviously we expect that to provide a good amount of impetus to our overall revenue growth numbers.
All right, we leave it there. Thank you so much, Akash, as well as Sanjeev, for joining us on the show, as well as all the best for your company for the growth ahead. But with that, we come to the end of this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. This was the last edition of Buy Now, Sell Now for the year 2022. We will see you in the year 2023. But for now, it's a big Happy New Year from Shrishti, myself, my producers Abhishek Shawni, as well as my show directors Santosh Ravinder, as well as Trevor and Akshay. Thank you so much for watching us.
The deliberation the committee was doing, and you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing, and you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees.
Last trading session of the year, markets remain as flat as they can with thin volumes as we start the next series. But for the year gone by, Nifty tracks to end with gain of 4% as compared to double-digit negative returns across US, Europe, various other markets.
What's in store for 2023 for the markets? The biggest experts believe India will continue to outperform and banks are expected to remain the big theme. Targets for the Nifty range anywhere between flat to 20,500 for a year ahead.
It's a biggie now exclusive. Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri maintains that government stance that India will continue to buy oil from wherever it is while it is cheap. Shows faith in the Indian economy, says that we will advance the nation. We will be advancing nation till 2047. He also adds that oil marketing companies are not losing money anymore in petrol, diesel, at least on the retail front.
Rural demand may be on the recovery track, but two-wheelers may still remain in the slow lane as per the December dispatches numbers. But CVs and PVs will continue their winning streak amid improved sentiment.